Hello and welcome to Squid Pro Quo, a Squid Game podcast where there are only 3 rules. 1, a player is not allowed to stop podcasting. 2, a player who refuses to podcast will be eliminated. And 3, the podcast will be terminated if the majority agrees. I'm Sean.
And I'm Mike, and we have a very special episode today, Sean. We just finished talking to Eric, player number 415 from Season 2 of Squid Game The Challenge. You may know him as the guy who lied about having a pregnant girlfriend at home and that it was his birthday. And we get the true story from him here. Truth be told, Sean, this was a great conversation with Eric. We had a blast talking to him.
It was so much fun.
Maybe one of the nicest, funniest, coolest guys we've met. Just went really well, and I'm excited for you guys to listen. He definitely explains himself. And I left this conversation feeling like, although we thought he was a sociopath in the games, I think he's just someone that made some very smart decisions to feature himself on these Squid Games. Wouldn't you agree, Sean?
You don't have to worry about if you see him on the street, you don't need to go the other way. I know I said some things before, but if you see the man in public, he's a nice guy. You can, maybe I don't know if I'm gonna say feel free to approach. I not because not because he's dangerous. But I don't know if he wants you to do that.
No, I think oh wow. Nice, Sean. I think based on the conversation we had with him, I think he wants to talk Squid Game with people, and he wants to talk reality shows with people, and he's very passionate about it, and he's taken this time he got in the kind of the spotlight and trying to make it an experience that he can share with everyone, and I think that's a very cool thing to do. So before we get into the interview, I just want to say real quick, we are doing our wrap-up episode next. We are going to record it after Thanksgiving. So get your email. We've already got a ton of emails, but get your emails and your Discord comments in. We will discuss them all. We'll discuss how we felt about all of Season 2 of the challenge. And that will wrap us up for Squid Game for the time being, but we will be back. So please get your stuff in, because, you ain't going to have a chance for a while after that.
Yep.
Anyway, without further ado, the official Eric 415 interview with the Squid Boys.
Thank you.
What was that?
I don't know. I just wanted to steal it.
It was like that was the answer report. Thank you.
I wanted to steal it. I don't know. I was like, I got to say something. I'm just going to steal the thank you.
You could have said, I don't know. You could have said anything else.
Can I just say too, I've never laughed so much as I did listening to your podcast. Like, you guys are fucking hilarious. So
thank you.
I don't go reaching out trying to get attention that much normally, but I was like, oh my God, I'd be so happy to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we're flattered, man. I mean, we were a little worried we were a little too mean to you, to be honest.
Yeah.
No such thing. Can't be done. Oh my God. No, I thought it was, all the sociopath and psychopath I thought that was the funniest thing that anyone has ever said about me. So.
Well, you DM'd Sean, and he was like, oh my God, Mike, Eric DM'd me. And I was like, what? And he sent me the screenshot of it. And he was like, I said so many mean things. And I said, no, I don't think you were that bad. And me and my girlfriend went and looked at the transcript of the podcast. And I was like, oh no, he wasn't terrible. He called him a sociopath, but and then at the end, Sean said something like, I'm just saying, if you see this guy in public, stay away. And I was like, okay.
That probably made me laugh the loudest.
Okay, good.
I love it.
Good.
Look,
good.
I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I don't think I take too many things seriously, for one thing. And also, I kind of am flattered, if anything, because for me, it's like, you watch Big Brother, Dan Giesling.
That's the thing we were going to probably talk about with you, is like, we're not really reality TV show guys. And this is like our first kind of foray into it, is the Squid Game stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
I gathered. Oh, go ahead.
Well, we have our buddy that we have. I had one of the episodes, Pat, and he's a huge Survivor guy, Big Brother. He knows all that stuff, and so he was cluing us in on, because we were like, He's like, honestly, this Eric thing, it's like a funny, good lie, but like there have been way worse in reality TV shows. And we were like, really? And he was like, he kind of clued us in on that. So no, that I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit. So it's funny you bring that up.
I'll save it for the pod. I don't know if you're recording, but I'll love to get into it. But then I'll just say, since you are not familiar with this random guy on a reality show 10 years ago, I'll say he has a phrase, something along the lines of like, when he plays a game like this, he cuts his heart out, leaves it at the door, picks it up on the way out. And that's how I view these things. It's like they're games. They're social contracts. You can lie in there,
Yeah.
So if you call me a sociopath in a game, it's like, well, I think you're probably playing it right then.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what what I've kind of taken from it too is the initial reaction to you saying it. We were a little shocked, right? But as you go in, you go, wow, that was actually really, really smart. And
Appreciate it.
Well, I watched a clip of you earlier. You were on, because I'm, getting ready to interview. I'm a professional. Someone was asking you like, hey, do you think this helped you? Do you think this helped you? And it was like, yeah, it helped him. What do you mean? And you were like, hey, it didn't help me like win the game, obviously, but you brought up Kate and how during the with Isaiah and the other guy's name escapes me, but the three of them were in that room and they just excluded her from being eliminated because she had kids, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
And that kind of thing matters in those games. And so I thought it was brilliant, man.
And
thank you again. So I appreciate it, man.
Of course.
And like we were kind of saying, like, we're not reality TV show guys. We really came into this because we love the drama so much. Like, that's why we started the podcast. And we were like, well, they're doing this reality show thing. That might be fun. But I've said it multiple times on the podcast. Like, it makes for really good television, beyond the game strategy. Not only is it good strategy in the game, it's also very compelling to watch. So thank you.
Well, no, thanks. So that's like the biggest compliment, right? Because for me, I'm a gamer first and foremost. I would say like strategy games my whole life. And the thing about Squid Game is though, you're not gonna fucking win. There's 456 people. Like I think the way to play is to assume you're already dead. So really, it's about maximizing overall equity to me, not just like win equity in the game, and that entails getting on the show. And I'm not like trying to be an influencer or anything, don't get me wrong, but I do want to watch myself back. I want to be able to say, hey, that was me playing the game. So yeah, all my strategies for the most part also involved trying to make myself laugh and be entertaining. So I'm glad you guys found it fun to watch.
Yeah, man.
And, one more thing. I can't believe you guys don't watch these shows, because the way you talk about them and discuss them, like you sound like people who are very much in this world.
Yeah, I mean,
you're natural, I guess, at sociopathy.
Yes, thank you.
I won't lie. I mean, I've seen like Survivor before, like, especially when it first came out and I was, a kid, I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, because everybody watched it then, right? Yeah, but I definitely, and I watched some, like, this is not at all the same thing, but like me and my girlfriend will watch like Great British Baking Show, right? Or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Which is, it's a competition, but no one's like, being cutthroat about it. There's baking cakes and being British, so
great show.
It's a great
lot
show.
Of similarities. Still.
Yeah.
It is a competition. They're telling good stories.
Yeah. Exactly. We wrote down some questions for you, Eric, because again, thank you for joining us, man. Like it's an honor to have you on the show. You were one of our favorite characters, so to speak, during this season.
I love it. I'm a character. Yes. Yeah. I've always wanted to be a character on a reality television show.
I constantly have to catch myself when we're doing the podcast going, these are people.
Yep.
I'm constantly going character.
Are we?
Yeah.
I think we're characters. I really do. And I don't know. I'm not just saying this. I don't want to be insensitive, right? Obviously, we are also real people. Yes, I understand that. But for the purposes of talking about the show, we're characters. You're seeing like 1% of 1% of who we were out there and what we did. So I think we should be called characters, if anything. And I love it. I've what an honor to be a character on Netflix. Huh, yeah. Wow. Look at me.
And you kind of said this too. Like you made the point of like, hey, I did these things because I wanted to watch myself on TV. And there's probably like 400 people that barely were shown right during these games. And because of what you did, you made a point. You are a character, right? You made yourself a character on the show. So was that kind of was that the goal for you, like to get on the show and be like, hey, I want to be featured? Because I know you're a big fan of these shows. You
Yes.
know, so was that like, hey, I'm on this show. You might only get one chance to be on a show like this, right? Most people don't get one at all. So go for broke and throw
100%.
some stuff out there, you know?
Yeah, and first, let me just say, truly a pleasure being here. I've not heard anyone discuss my gameplay like you two did on your podcast, and I'm still laughing at that. So I am excited to talk about it. And yeah, I for some shows I would be in it more to win it, but there's always a part of me that just I can't help it. I want to be different. I want to be entertaining. I want to make myself laugh, and I feel like if I make myself laugh, I'm usually making other people laugh too. So that was my attitude going into Squid Game was there's 456 losers out here, including me, and we're all gonna lose. One person is gonna win, but it's not gonna be me. I'm already dead. So how do I make the most of this? I want to stand out. I want to be on the show. I want to be able to watch myself back, but I want to do it my way. So it's nuanced. I never entered the boiler room. I never even set foot in there. I never volunteered for a single chore. I didn't take the stupid scratch tickets. You know, I wasn't there to try to desperately get on TV. I was there to get on the show my way, and my way happens to be playing an absolutely insane game, you know, trying to innovate on the strategy of Squid Game, if there even is such a thing. So that is absolutely, it was born out of gameplay, wanting to maximize my odds of winning, but my baby lie, all the other little lies, it was also like, this is funny. I have to do this.
That's a great point that we haven't brought up. So you might also be great at doing our job of you didn't engage with any of the obvious television like bait scenarios.
No.
Like, you know, and you
Not a
still
one.
were a major character in the show. That's
minor supporting character, I think. But
in
thanks.
our hearts, you were a major character. So
You know,
I think that's
they got me on my best. They got me on my best. Memorable supporting
There you
character.
go.
How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. Well, can I just say
Yeah, go ahead.
to that? You know, I got lucky. First of all, I'd be the first to tell you, I got very lucky to make it far enough to give my speech and all that. But I think if I were to give advice, unsolicited, of course, no one asked for me, but to give advice, but try to be different. You know, people were either boring, playing the game, boring under the radar, and I got to tell you, almost all of them regret it. They wish they went crazier, or they're trying to get attention and get TV time in the typical way of like being kind of lunatics and volunteering for all sorts of shit. And neither of those things are very interesting, I don't think.
Yeah, you want to kind of be in the middle from what I've seen. Like you want to interact with people. You don't want to just be, you know, a kind of a loser on their own, but you can't be like a pick me person. You know what I mean? You can't be like me for everything. So I think you did that great, man. I again, we loved watching you play the game. We were really bummed when you got eliminated.
Thanks, man. This is why I really came on to get flattered all the time. So I appreciate it. Keep going.
I want to ask you because you know, you got to marbles. And you're with player 110, who you had formed a friendship with, and you decide to reveal your lie at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because that's the one thing I was like, why did he tell her now? And Sean says that he thought you were doing like your supervillain monologue, but I
I love that.
I think there's probably a better reason than that where you decided to reveal at that point.
This is a great question. It's an obvious question, and of course everyone's wondering it. And I gotta say, I am so grateful. Thank you, Netflix, for putting me on your show, for showing me it all. I really appreciate it. Kind of confusing how the world's biggest liar all of a sudden becomes the world's biggest truth teller, seemingly for no reason. And a big part of the missing context is Melissa and I knew each other for years before Squid Game, and she was a good friend.
Oh, no way.
Everything makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, they did.
And I have a bit of a heart. I have a little bit of a heart, and also there's more reasons, but I want to start with that. So I'll let you. We met in a Survivor game, a fan-made Survivor game. I don't know if you're familiar with this crazy world, but there are lunatics like me who love these shows so much that will go and pay money to sleep in the woods on the ground and play fake Survivor for like 2 to 5 days usually. And we met doing one of those, and we were ride or dies in that 2 years before Squid Game. So.
Wow,
that's part of it.
So that makes so much more sense because the way you reveal to her, it's like you feel guilty. You can see it, and I was like, he barely knows this girl.
Did.
What
Yeah.
are we talking about? He barely knows this girl, but you knew her before that, so that makes so much more sense. And do you think there's a reason why they didn't include that in the show, that you guys knew each other?
I think there's probably at least two reasons. One is that 9 episodes is such a short amount of time.
Right.
And, Survivor's like 18 players, 14 episodes, let's say. This is 456 players and 9 episodes. So that's one reason. I think the other one is that we probably really sucked at giving them stuff to work with, because we never like put on a fake scene of like pretending to meet each other, I don't think, or like pretending to form an alliance. It was just an obvious, innate, like instant ride or die situation. So it might have been hard. We talked about it. We did talk about it, knowing each other, but it might have been hard to tell that story.
Right.
So those are my theories.
So you didn't keep it a secret at all. People knew that you guys knew each other from before this.
Well, we told production after a little bit in the game. We did not tell any other players.
Oh, okay. All right. No, that makes sense.
So,
I mean, why? Yeah, that would be suicide, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you guys know that you were both going to be on the show before, or did you like walk in the dorm and be like, or wherever, and be like, oh my God, hi?
I definitely knew, and we have very small circles in these reality show nerd communities, and I accidentally found out, and so I knew she was going to be there, and I kind of was able to like think in advance about how I would want to play it with her being there. So
yeah, no, that's awesome.
You just, people talk, people have loose lips, and they'll share some news, and then you think you're safe telling one person, and they tell more people, and it gets around. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, I did not expect that. You're full of twists, Eric. I did not expect this next twist to come up.
Well, it's crazy, and we got very lucky to be in the game. Well, I say that now. I don't know if she feels lucky, but we were lucky to be able to play the game together. It's a huge advantage. But if I can I go back and explain that decision to tell her the truth
please.
a little bit more?
Yeah.
Great, because I want to be very honest outside. I actually don't really lie much at all. I'm not gonna say never, but I really don't like lying outside of the game. So I want to be candid about it, even though this is probably not gonna make me look great. But I went into marbles, and at first my immediate thought was like, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe I just picked Melissa for this, of all people. She's the only person who like knows what a big dirty liar I am. So I was very mad at myself. And then I thought, okay, how do I win? And I had all these plans going in about marbles games to play. I had prepared for this, as you might imagine. But the more I thought about it, and the more she like whispered to me in between games, because there's a lot of time between games, she was dead set on chance. And I really felt like she was on high alert. Like she did not want to do anything but chance correctly. And I thought, okay, I can either try to eke out like a 1% at best, like really at best chance of getting a favorable game, or I can make our story come full circle. I can blow everything up. I can face the music in Squid Game in marbles rather than just telling her after the show. And I thought this would probably increase chances of them caring about me. It's like, if I die, who cares? And if she dies, she can't tell anyone anyway.
Yeah, no, that
is. I love that you said it that way, because that is what I was saying on the podcast, and I
remember. Thank you for that. Yeah, no, that was it.
It makes incredible television watching, in that moment, and that's pretty genius to to have them actually pick and show your part of the game.
It's hard to get on the show. It's really hard. And so, I have a theory that they work backwards from big moments, and marbles being one of them. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm here for a reason. They cast me. Like, I want to put on the best show possible. I'm not going to, pretend I didn't want to do that. So this was the way for me, I thought, to gain the most life equity rather than in-game win equity. So yeah, could I have tried to come up with a better plan? Yeah, I'm sure someone smarter than me could have figured out a way to dupe her. I couldn't do that in the moment. So this was what I thought was the best path.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant, man. Because like you said, you're maximizing your screen time with it, right? Because if you're, obviously there's one main reason to go on a game like that is because you want to win the $4.5 million, right? But the other reason is to, hey, I can look back at this show that I was on, and I was featured on this show, and
100%.
Most of the people can't say that.
They can't. And I think, myself included, we all thought it'd be like a little bit easier to get on the show, because there's some crazy, crazy, cool, interesting, funny moments that they didn't show. that I would have bet my life were going to be on the show. So yeah, I think, and again, I'm not trying to be an influencer or anything like that. I just wanted to be able to watch myself back because I'm a huge reality show nerd, and I got very lucky to be in a position where I could do that, even if I was a fucking idiot to get into marbles with Melissa. But you can't win them all. You can't win them all.
Yeah.
It's some highs and lows out there.
Yeah, you went out the right way though. You went out in a blaze of glory. You know what I mean? Like you didn't go out with a whimper. They didn't even show some people marbles. Marble matchups.
Yeah. Here's a question: you and Sean, what marbles game would you play? You might have talked about this, but I didn't catch it.
I think we've probably talked about that like previous to this season because obviously we've covered both seasons or all 3 seasons of the drama and now both seasons of the challenge. Sean's not a super athletic guy, so I think I would try to convince him to do some kind of marble throwing game because I think I'd whoop you on that.
Oh, I think I would be like, no, it's chance. The only thing I'd be able to do is,
Wow.
I mean, we talked about
a real Eric and Melissa.
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about on catch. I was like, I'm not gonna try to hide it. If I'm like past person 8, I don't feel very confident about this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
rightfully so. A lot of people were way too complacent about catch, about being in the middle, and they kind of forgot that, like, wow, some people really suck at throwing, and now the game is tied to random people throwing a ball.
Yeah, so many people went out because of the thrower, not the catcher. Like I just watching it was painful to watch. Just if you
Same.
Yeah, I bet. I bet in the moment for you it was too. So I kind of want to talk to you about some of the games that we because I don't know that we'll always have access to somebody who got to play in the games, and the big one that was kind of the hot button issue was Mingle, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of rumors and things about what happened during Mingle, and I don't know how much you can share, but was Mingle really as crazy as people said it was behind the scenes?
Yeah, this is one of those things where I definitely cannot talk completely freely. Like we do sign an NDA. So I think I'm following. I'm gonna be a good little boy for Netflix, and I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me. Okay, and I do appreciate rules. I'm a good rule follower. I am. So as much as I want to talk about everything, I can't. Here's what I will say though. 100% was not scripted. First of all, and everyone's asking that, and I get it because it kind of looks scripted. But it was not. They were just editing around a lot of missing context, I believe. And to answer your question directly, yeah, it was fucking insane. It was an insane game. We were all shocked that they did Mingle. Like out there, we thought surely this was not going to be a game that they played because it might get too physical.
Right.
And yet there it was. So they had some rules in place to try to keep it less physical, but I mean, you saw the episode. It looked physical because it was physical. So, and it also is, of course, again, as you know, it goes on way longer than it looks. Every game takes forever. Yeah. Pentathlon took 2 days. Mingle, I don't know. We have no concept of time, but it took like 8 hours or so, 6 to 8 hours at least. So it takes such a toll on people.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Who have hearts, not me, but it took a toll on the non.
Yeah, you were fine, right? No big deal for you.
I loved it. It was my favorite game by far. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's also kind of what I wanted to ask you is shocked in the moment that they would decide to do Mingle, but when you watch it back afterwards, are you like, that was a great idea?
I think it was a great risk that I think paid off and didn't. The ending certainly did not. They did not stick the landing like they'd hoped, and they had to deal with some difficulties that were unforeseen. But I think in general, the concept to go from Mingle into marbles was brilliant because like we talked going in to Mingle, like, hey, Melissa, let's not pick each other for 2, obviously. And we forgot by the end of it. We our brains were broken. So they were able to get us, I think, because Mingle is just such an insanely complex, hard, strenuous game that they caught us at our lowest point. So brilliant. If they were able to put the gift boxes with the marbles in it through the doors, like I'm sure they originally planned, I think it would have been amazing. But it was a risk. It was a very tough game to pull off, and it didn't go exactly according to plan, I think.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they for season 3 went back to Mingle.
Yeah.
We were all surprised that when it was like, wait, they're playing Mingle? Because I'm just picturing people throwing each other to the ground
no.
and slamming fingers in doors and all this stuff, and it's like, whew, that
Yeah.
Right.
that's a catastrophe waiting to happen. But I mean, like you said, it was a risk, and it kind of worked out and kind of didn't in the same way, you know?
On the pro side, I think it was really cool television, really fun to watch. Like you could feel the emotions, even if you have no idea who most of these people are watching the show. You could feel the intensity of it. Like it's all so real, like so real. It's crazy, and it's really cool. The thing that I have to say, and I don't know how you fix this. I'm not trying to throw shade, but like I just wish there was more strategy, more relationships shown because I think you're kind of meeting and saying goodbye to a lot of people in Mingle. And it's like, okay, this is crazy shit is happening, but like, oh my God, it was so complex out there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It's like Survivor on steroids. So really
Can't
cool to
even
watch
imagine.
though.
Yeah, on that same thing, you mentioned that the relay took like 2 days. How long were you actually there?
I personally was in there for 8 days. And I believe the
Wow.
game took 2 weeks total if you go all the way.
That I see. I wouldn't have guessed that long based on the way they cut it. And I know obviously they cut a lot out, but 8 days to get to marbles.
Yeah. See, that's funny because for me, my background is like these other reality shows where now Studio Lambert, which produces Squid Game and other shows like Traders, I think they're kind of consistent. I think they do like 2 weeks for pretty much all their things. The Circle too, but
Okay.
Survivor is like 39 days back in the day. Big Brother, it went from like 70 days to like 100 freaking days. So like I'm used to shows taking a lot more time actually. So to me, it's like, wow, we're like speed running this.
Yeah.
But again, for you guys watching it, yeah, it looks like everything happens so seamlessly in the show. But nope, no, there's a good amount of time in between all this stuff that they gotta reset for. So
Right.
it looks seamless, but a lot of time we're just hanging out in the dorms, not able to talk, or we're just chilling, and it doesn't look like any time goes by at all. Magic.
Yeah,
So-
because I was gonna say I think watching it logically, we go, this probably took a longer period of time, but it to me doesn't even feel like it took a week. Like for
Right.
the total thing, not even just your part that you were on for.
No, exactly. And even watching it, I was surprised, and I was like, man, I should know better because I literally study reality television
Mhm.
shows. The first thing, the count, it looks like it happens 2 seconds into the game, and we were there for like I don't know, like hours and hours and hours before that took place.
That's
So
fascinating.
it's truncated.
We have to ask about the count.
Yeah,
And
please.
how did you feel when you realized that like your entire chance to continue to be on the game was in the hands of like 3 people?
I felt like committing murder. I was like, oh my God, I am going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. I worked so hard to get on one of my reality TV shows, and I'm going to go out because someone can't fucking count. And I really hated it, I got to say. And I feel very, very lucky to have survived that by winning a coin flip.
Yeah.
That's why you'll never hear me complain about losing a coin flip in marbles because so much had to go right for me to get as far as I did. But I think again, as a fan of these shows, as like a student of these shows, I wrote a thesis about reality TV game mechanics. I think you want to see a little bit more agency with the players.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what you guys think. I can guess, but you tell me what you thought. I think as hard as it is to cut down players fast, which they absolutely need to do, I wish the players had like a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because, we had our friend Pat on who's a big fan of these shows like you are, and he said the same exact thing. He said, there's no player agency there. I know they need to cut people quickly because there's 456 and they don't want to just do red light, green light again. And we found out later that they used that for the last game, which you don't want to do that twice.
Right.
And so, yeah, I agree. Like it sucks that for the other side, you just had the one nurse lady and she started counting late, and at least that's how they cut the show to,
No, that was real. Yeah, really
that was real.
I mean, I wasn't there, but that's what all the O's have said that I've talked to.
That's
wow.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I think you're
Oh my
100%
God.
right that there needs to be more agency for the people that, And the game's supposed to be like not necessarily fair to people, right? That's part of the Squid Game thing. But like, man, that had to have been tough for those half of the people that just didn't get to make it because of that.
Oh yeah, I mean they're in shambles, and as much as I play like a sociopath, according to some people, I actually feel bad for them. I really do. I feel horrible. It's like their dreams are cut short. They have nothing to do with it, and it's literally like you show up. It's like the Grandpa Abe Simpson meme, right, where he just walks in and out of the
Walks
bar.
right out,
It's
yeah.
like that. That
Yeah.
was their Squid Game experience. If
Yeah,
you
that's a
could
big
visualize
bummer.
that.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. And I think if you get they're casting season 3, it might have just ended. I don't know, but they were working on finalizing the cast soon-ish. And all I can say to season 3 hopefuls, assume you're dead. Just assume that you already lost as soon as you set foot in there. And that way you won't be disappointed, because that's the Squid Game experience.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, Eric, because I've been pushed by Sean and other people in our fans and everything to apply for season 3. And I wondered if you had any tips for me for my submission video.
I do. Well, first of all, be funny, which, I'm going to, flatter you guys and say, I think you're going to be good at that. That's going to be easy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I actually have very real tips. I'll try to keep it relatively short, and we can always talk offline. I'm happy to help. If anyone's listening to this wants tips, DM me. I'm world's worst cameo salesman because I don't care, and I'll just answer anyone on Instagram or whatever. But my short tips would be, so what I think you should do is figure out who you are. What is the most interesting thing about you? How would you like really distill yourself down to like a 5 to 8 second version of yourself, and then go in hot. Take like I don't know, drink a drink or two if you imbibe, and have a Red Bull, and then go in there and give a basic intro like, hey, I'm Eric, I'm 34, I live in Boston, I do this, and then tell them like your big thing. You need a hook. So start with a hook that's something interesting, that's not something everyone else says in these terrible, boring audition tapes. And then have like 2 or 3 talking points, I think. And it's a minute long. It goes by really fast. So keep it to that. Know what you're going to talk about and know how you're going to get from one point to the other, but otherwise do not script it. And then just do this like a bunch of times until you feel like you did something that's really funny and that you like and that people are laughing at, and then sleep on it. And then if you still enjoy it the next day, send it in. That's my tips.
Okay. All right. No, that's good feedback. I love that. All right, cool.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to apply?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. So it's
funny.
funny.
My God, let's go. Well, you better get on that. I think that's pretty close to ending.
Yeah, I plan on doing it tonight. Actually, I wanted to talk to you first. I wanted some expert opinion. But
oh my God,
it's really funny.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you. You talked about how you and Melissa knew each other going into it. Pat, who was on the show with us, he's also going to apply, and our plan was to both get in and then not tell anybody we knew each other. Like that was literally
it worked out really good for me. So yeah, I love that.
That was literally our plan. So
yeah. You'll have that option. You know what? They had a 4-man crew team, like a collegiate crew team in there in season 1. So really? I don't know. Like I don't know, but Sean, are you not going for it? Is it just Patrick?
No.
Why not? Why not?
I would be terrible.
You literally can't be terrible at Squid Game. It's Squid Game.
I don't have the mental fortitude to put myself out onto camera like that for so many people.
Eric, do you remember the poor lad in season 1 who he picked the umbrella cookie?
Yeah.
You remember him?
Spencer.
That would be Sean.
Yes.
Spencer, that's his name. That would be Sean on any decision. Like immediately.
I feel like for this season, I'd have been, and the line was so iconic, so I love her for it. But the poor woman in the triathlon is like, I should have told you guys that my hands shake as like the cards are all bent up and everything.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I feel like that would be me. So for the good of everybody else, I'm staying far away.
Oh my God. Well, listen, that's a loss for viewers because I'm quite sure you'd be really funny on it. But sounds like a good decision. It definitely you should take that seriously. It's kind of insane wanting to go on in this experience and have like a million cameras pointed at you. So would not want that for anyone who's not like positive that they're good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I can't imagine.
Yeah, Sean would crumble for sure.
I'd crumble like that cookie, like the Belgana
so
cookie,
fast,
so quickly, or a House of Cards.
Yeah.
So you talked about like all the time that you guys spend in the dorm that we didn't get to see. And one of the questions that we kind of had, and I don't know if you'll have, like, if you can, you know, when did you guys do this, by the way? When did you film this?
January, February of this year, 2025.
Okay, of this year. Okay, so not quite as long ago as I would have thought.
Yeah,
but
it's actually a long time for like reality TV. I think
Is it?
usually
Okay,
it comes out faster.
Is there anybody that you feel like didn't get highlighted in the edit, but that you spent time with in the dorm and you were like, this person is just really cool?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. And there's so many people. Yeah, that could apply to like virtually anyone. You know, it's I have a much healthier appreciation for players because I got to be honest. On shows, in the past, I've kind of assumed like, oh, if all your content is boring, or if you're on the show, then you probably were kind of boring. You probably didn't give them content. And then I go out here and walk in the dorms, and first of all, I'm like, holy shit! Every single person here has a crazier story and is more outgoing than I am. I'm like 450th in line to get interviewed by the Netflix team. Second of all, yeah, like let me just give you one quick. Kurt, you know the dad, Zoe's dad.
Yeah.
He
was on the show a ton, but like he's fucking hilarious. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met, and his edit was like kind of more doting typical father. So that just was the storyline they wanted. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm trying to think. I could say that for so many people right now. I know you know Manny he's a friend of Mark's. He was a friend of Viper's in the game, so he's like talking to all the right people. He's a very funny guy. I know him from these live reality games, or at least I've seen him now since then. And not on the show at all. And it really depends on how far you go and how relevant you are to the plot lines, which kind of happened in a vacuum. You'll notice Mark never talked about ally. We never heard main character Mark talk about his allies or vice versa. It was really just all about him talking about himself. Right. So unfortunately, so many people were just not relevant to the story that they wanted to say. This is me like filibustering because I have the worst fucking memory in the world, and I'm struggling so hard to think of people. So you guys talk for like here, help me out, bail me out a little bit, and I'll think about names.
We have I want to say respectful and healthy obsession with Greg from the show. We kind of love Greg. And I just wasn't sure if you know, had anything fun about Greg, like if you knew Greg, if you could get Greg to reach out to us.
Tell me more. Like I can try. Tell me more. What do you love about Greg? Because I don't think I caught those episodes yet.
So I just think he's got aura, man. He's just cool. He takes the totem or the doll, the little like Russian doll, and he's just I'll take it, man, no problem, you know. And he just there was one point where, and this was after you were eliminated, but you know they're trying to pick the hall monitors or whatever they called it, and he just kind of walks over and grabs the 3 that everybody's picking and goes, "It's gonna be these 3," and I don't know, he just had this like aura about him where we were like, this guy's so cool. Like just something about Greg, really, man. We were a big fan.
Well, listen, I'll see if I can get some autographs mailed out to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I just got to catch up with him for the first time in LA for the finale, and I feel like he's every bit exactly as he comes off on the show. He's just happy, he's smiling, he's amicable, and he doesn't give 2 shits about anything. Right. Like in a good way. In a good way. He's truly there to have fun, have a crazy experience, and you know what? I didn't really think about it, but you've kind of convinced me. I'm kind of a Greg stan now. I didn't think I was going to be a Greg stan, but I'm with you on that. Look, it's very cool, and a sea of people, and I'm talking about myself here too. Okay, so I'm making fun of myself too. And a sea of people who want attention, who want to be on the show, who want to like be special. I think it's very admirable and cool when people like actually don't care at all. They like somehow accidentally get on a reality show and they just do whatever the hell they want. And I think that was Greg. So kudos to him.
Yeah,
I could never.
He just seems like the kind of guy the jukebox isn't working and he walks up and elbows in and it starts working. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah.
that's just kind of his vibe.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Not me. I would break the jukebox more if I tried that.
Yeah, no, same.
I think Max was really funny. He was the guy who sacrificed himself
Yes,
in the
that was his name,
same
Max,
time
yeah.
Greg died. He was hilarious, unseen. There's a girl, Holland. She's like on one of the thumbnails, and she wasn't in the show much. Like really funny. I don't know. So Anne Lenny went out in marbles. I think she's hilarious and so lovable. AJ. Okay, one more. AJ. She went out in gift game after killing 2 people by being an absolute assassin. All the way there, and she was great. She was like had this really athletic catch, a big moment in catch when like the other guy who got a lot of the guy with the slick back hair, Austin, who went out and mingle tied to the twin, threw the like long distance throw to her. She nailed it and then nailed her throw after that. You'd think he should be in there with all these cool moments as like a badass mom who is super athletic and killed 2 people in the gift game. No luck. Not in the show.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's pretty striking and interesting that like she was someone who they could have highlighted more because she's gonna be there, right? And they just
And she beat Marcus. She beat an NFL player in a throwing competition.
Yeah.
You would think that would be like a kind of cool upset on paper, at least.
Yeah, I was surprised when he went out for sure. Like that you know, he seemed I think I picked him to win at that point. I said, hey, going into that Marbles episode, I go, this Marcus guy is going to be tough to beat, man. He's an athlete, you know, he seems very personable. People like him. And then he went out in Marbles, and I was like, I started a curse where every time I said someone was going to win, they would go out the next episode. So I stopped saying it. I was just like, no, I'm just not going to pick anybody from now on.
I wish you picked different people. That's a bummer.
I'll do better next time.
Yeah. If we could talk next time, let's consult on who you pick and who you curse. Okay.
Sounds good.
There you go.
Sounds good. You went to that premiere. You mentioned it. And I mean, tell me about that process, because they put all 456 of you in a theater, right, to watch the finale, right?
Oh, no, I mean, that would have been cool. I was obviously invited because I am Electric Television, but not many people did. Not many people got invited.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they did everybody or not.
I'm being like, I actually don't know how I got invited. I didn't think I was on the show enough to get invited, but they accidentally invited me. I think a clerical error possibly got me there. I'm not complaining. In any case, yeah, very few people got invited. And unfortunately, I mean, I get it. It was at this theater. It's like an old timey Hollywood theater, I guess. Not that I would know, but I researched it. And it was supposed to be a fan experience. So there's just not many seats. So they simply, for a fan finale, a fan event where it's supposed to be all about fans coming to get like a little bit of the Squid Game experience, they physically could not have all the squid, not even many of the squids.
Got
there.
it.
So,
okay, that makes more sense, because I thought, because they showed I saw a video where they showed the ending and people's reactions to it, and I saw a full theater of people, and I was like, oh, that's got to be like all the contestants, but that makes sense. There were fans there.
Yeah, it was mostly, large majority was fans, and it's a real bummer for people on the show. And I feel really bad. I didn't think I was going to be there, so I was like, man, this sucks for us. And then I got lucky enough to get invited, which was cool. A lot of people went out anyway, and we all had a really fun time afterwards, catching up and talking about it and drinking and all that. And I appreciate everyone who came, even if they weren't invited to the actual event. I get Netflix's side. I get the side. It's like you literally cannot invite everybody. You cannot invite nearly the amount of people you would like to invite. But it's also a bummer to be on a show. Again, this goes back to my main point, my thesis of if you are on Squid Game, expect nothing. You really got to get that in your head. It's you should really expect nothing, and that way you'll never be disappointed. It's not like most shows.
How did you feel about the ending?
You're doing such a good job asking me all these questions. I really want to ask you these questions. So I'm going to turn this back on you in a second. Just FYI.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I mean, it's really cool, especially with you guys not being reality TV people. You kind of have a fresh view of these events that's probably different than all the tired takes that people like me have. But I'll answer you and say that I thought it was a really cool idea to do red light, green light. In retrospect, maybe not the most compelling television. And I think they also got a little unlucky. with how things played out. Like, I don't think they could have predicted Trinity sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
Some people that might be amazing television. For me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I want to have one cool like game here at the end. It's ruined.
He did ruin the game for sure.
He does ruin the game.
Yeah,
That's true. I am one of the people that worked for. I talk about it pretty extensively in the episode in the finale. But I hear everybody's complaints and I can't go, I can't really refute them. The only complaints that I personally feel are a little out there is I feel there's a lot of people that are personally attacking Trinity for this, which is
so lame.
Yeah, I think it's so lame. I can't dispute that, like, it kind of ruins the game, but at the same time, I talk extensively about how, like, it was almost like faith in humanity restoring to see somebody like really commit to shooting themselves in the foot because they believe it's the right thing to do or whatever. Go listen to the episode if you want to hear me talk about that. But yeah, I absolutely understand all of the complaints about how, in terms of the game, it really messes everything up.
Yeah, I was really interested to see how that game would have turned out if he had not done that. Or maybe if he knew that Steven won $6 million playing poker, he might have changed his tune a little bit. But I don't know. According to Steven, there are like 20% of the people in the game were millionaires, is what he's trying to say. I don't know if that's true either. But
I haven't heard that percentage. But I don't know. News to me, but
that sounds like a guy trying to save face to me. This is what it sounds like. But
I have to ask really quickly, and we won't get too far into that. But were you surprised when he admitted that on the show?
Yes, I was surprised. I thought when I heard after the show, I had no idea during the show. I barely knew who Steven was, that he was a poker player. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's great. Because I love poker. I was very into poker on a much more amateur level as a late teen, young 20s guy. And I thought maybe he was like a huge gamer. And I was like, oh, Steven, like, what did you do in the game? Like, you must have been such a strategist. Turns out not a lot beyond just being there for the experience, which is, good for him. I just had high hopes. Someone who got second in the main event. And as for his decision to tell people about it, I just heard a clip of him saying that he was prodded by production to do that.
Okay.
You can decline. Okay. See, I don't know if you knew this, Steven. You can say no. You don't have to do that. That's up to you. So I think it's kind of criminally insane. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Regardless of how you feel about if he should play the game or not, right? Like, telling people that, what the perception is going to be, right? Telling people in the game, they're immediately going to go, oh, this guy doesn't deserve to be here. I'm trying to win money for my family or whatever it might be. And he already has millions of dollars. Get this guy out of here, right?
Like, so we need a second yacht. That's why I'm here, to get a second yacht for the family. Like, how did he think that conversation was going to go, Steven? You think she's going to be really pumped when she's trying to earn money for her like kid who has a condition? Not great. I could have told you that wasn't going to go great.
Yeah.
You would have advised against it if he...
I would have advised against it. Yeah. If I was his coach in there, I would have said, let's rethink this plan. Maybe just like tell her after the show. How about that?
Crazy. Yeah. No, I agree wholeheartedly with that him telling her was an insane thing.
And again, let me get ahead of the comments a little bit here. Melissa was going to die in marbles, or I was going to die. Okay. Like I did take a little bit of a gamble. Okay. I will say, but different situation. I would never have told her otherwise, and not in a million years. Okay.
Yeah. So, no. I don't think those are the same thing. I don't think those are the same thing.
I don't think those are the same thing.
Yeah. I meant like the comment section, not you guys. I can see them already, though.
They're typing
I can see
right
the
now.
hypocrisy of my statement. I get it.
They're furiously typing to you right now, Eric. I guarantee it.
So many people care about this. I do think, in his defense, Steven probably was like, "Yeah, let's make a moment." Like, look, he probably had a similar thought process to me and thought he could get away with it, and he didn't. So it's not actually criminally insane. I was exaggerating, Steven.
No, see, you're just leaning into our podcast, Eric. That's what we do.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
say things like that, and now you can say things like that. That's how this podcast works.
One of my pet peeves is when people go on podcasts and give the most bland, boring takes ever. So like, I really don't want to do that. I want to try to walk the line between being respectful, but also not being, I don't know, a sycophant. And for that reason, I appreciate my season 1's winner. She had a podcast recently where she was like, "Yeah, this sucked," and I really appreciate that. So don't listen to haters, Mai. Not that you need my advice, but keep going, keep giving us your real thoughts.
Yeah, we loved Mai. Mai was great.
Okay,
So,
question for you guys, if I may jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Finale, going back to the finale, because you asked me my thoughts about it. What did you guys think about red light, green light? And if you want, you can split this into 2 categories. One is like how it might have gone in theory and how it actually went.
You want to start, Mike? Or...
Yeah, I can go first. We hated rock, paper, scissors in season 1. We'll just put that out there. We thought that was the most boring.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was the most untension-filled version of a game. I think we wanted more of a set piece. I think we wanted more. There's just a lot to it that felt underwhelming. I think red light, green light, the idea of it was better, and I was excited for it. I think that because of Deja's injury, that kind of made it a little anticlimactic at the end. And that's an unfortunate thing to happen to her. You know what I mean? Like, she was so close, and then she, Sean, you told me she teared her Achilles. Is that what happened?
I saw, that's what I was seeing online is that she said in an interview that she tore her Achilles.
And that's so unfortunate because that's no joke. But so I think it kind of made it a little anticlimactic. What I was actually really disappointed about, Eric, was they didn't do like the "where are they now" thing, which I feel like is so standard in these shows. They did it with Perla because she won, obviously. But then they didn't do like the, I wanted, maybe a little one shot of you. Yeah,
going. I still have no friends and have nothing going for me.
Sean had the best idea, Eric. Is that it's you holding a newborn baby and you just wink at the camera, and it's like, wait, was he lying or was he not?
You'll never know. It's like one of those endings. It's like, was it all a dream? I don't know. It's up to the viewer.
We really wanted to see Trinity, like the end of The Dark Knight Rises, like just drinking a glass of orange juice, like in some French cafe. We had high hopes on that.
Oh my God. I'm with you. I think that was actually really fun how they did that in season 1. And I was bummed as well, even though I thought they were going to do it, even though they obviously didn't call me asking me to film anything. I was like, I want to see where these people are at. I think I'm really lucky that they showed me at all, honestly, because this isn't really a humorous show. I don't think they don't go for that. But if they wanted to, if the tone was different, man, imagine the OJ scene with Trinity.
I wish.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been so great. Melissa playing with her real kids who love her.
Yes.
Talking about how much I suck. That would have been fun too.
With red light, green light, you talked about like being shocked that they were going to do Mingle. I was shocked that they were doing red light, green light at all, because I think we can see how that might cause issues, as we saw with the finale. And also there are stories about season 1 that were very viral even before season 1 aired about the experience doing red light, green light. And obviously that was with way more people. That's actually part of why when they started doing count, I immediately went, yeah, they probably don't want a repeat of season 1 red light, green light, even though obviously they could have done something better there as well. Can
I jump in and say, I think we should be a little bit, this is going to sound crazy, a little bit sympathetic towards the producers and Netflix and Studio Lambert, because 456 is an insane amount of people, and they kind of have to do that. They're like locked in. And let's just think for 1 second about the budget, how much it costs to have crew that are required to deal with 456 players. Like they really have to cut the numbers down as fast as possible. So I think that's just one of the unfortunate realities of this series. If they ever depart from that, I would like to see 100-player Squid Game. That could be cool. I personally would not mind if they switched the number of contestants a little bit. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. It's like they're really between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'd like to. I'd need to. I actually was planning to dig more into it before. We're gonna do another episode just to kind of do our overall thoughts of the season and stuff. And I wanted to look more into what Deja was saying about the end there, because there was a lot of people who were saying like, I feel like for 4.56 million I could push through it or whatever. And now
Shut the fuck up. Those people are
yeah.
like
Hey,
mouth
hey, hold on.
breathers.
I said that. Hold on.
Quick stance. Look,
No.
if you didn't know she tore her Achilles, I could
I didn't
Yes,
know that.
yes.
I didn't know that when I said it. Yeah. I thought she sprained her ankle, and I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Here's a counterpoint though. Let's assume the best in people and say, maybe if she fell to the ground writhing in pain inches away from
Yeah.
$4.56 million, maybe she had a pretty good reason. Maybe
No,
body
that's
literally
silly.
could not do it.
And
No, what a wimp. What a wimp. You're right. What are you talking about?
the the edit obviously makes it look like she's not standing there very long, but it's much longer than it looks, while they're doing the setups and everything, and they're removing the people who got out. So
Right.
I would love in 20 years for all of these people to write big long tell-alls about their experiences making Squid Game the challenge for Netflix.
Wow. Oh man, what a popular book that would be 20 years from now.
For me, I'd love it.
No, well, me too, honestly. And that's what's cool about being on the other side. I'm like, wow, I really never thought I'd be able to like shed some light on things, like give perspective from the other side to whatever degree I can. And I'm so appreciative for the experience. And I want to, do my duty as a cast member. And I want to say too, that now I'm really going on a tangent, but I really was impressed by the crew, and I'm not just saying that blowing smoke. They were so professional, friendly. They have such an insanely hard job, and it was a true pleasure being there all the time. But yeah, there's these little things about the show that don't really translate for whatever reason. I can't speak to that. I don't know what it's like being a producer, but red light, green light is like so much harder than it looks, and you kind of are like, well, this looks dumb and fake. But it's not. But
Right.
it looks
No,
like it.
yeah.
She was probably holding it for like 5 minutes for all we know.
Yeah,
Right.
We have no way of knowing. I don't know. I haven't asked her yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And poor Vanessa went out like immediately.
Instantly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've seen people saying also like maybe having them run in the tuxedos and tuxedo shoes maybe wasn't the greatest idea. Maybe have them change before they do red light, green light. But maybe lessons for later.
More lessons. What is life if not one big learning experience?
Yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
True.
I actually hadn't thought about that. So they were wearing like the formal shoes. It looked like,
That's what it
right?
looked like to me. Yeah.
The whole
yeah.
formal attire. Yeah, I mean, I want to. I don't want to assume. Okay, I'm bad at that. I don't want to assume. Maybe they were like sneakily athletic formal shoes, formal looking
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah,
But yeah, like seeing how it went. Yeah, maybe like tracksuits would be kind of iconic too. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe that's the way to go. So that's a good point.
I just think they should like play the Squid Game from the show and make people fight each other for it,
Yeah, seriously.
That's the answer.
I don't know what the answer. Because I was excited for red light, green light too, and I think part of my like slight disappointment might be in just these unforeseen ways in which it played out, as opposed to the game itself. It was like, oh, cool, red light, green light's back. You gotta have to earn it. Oh, so much better than rock paper scissors, the worst finale ever. Again, thanks for casting me. I really appreciate it. Worst finale of all time ever. Like, right? Like, who wants to watch that? No one. But so like I was all on board. But now thinking about it more, like maybe you just want to come up with some game that's like a little more of an ability to cut people, a little bit more of a moral / social / strategic decision to be made.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, that's the theme of Squid Game, right? How many of your morals are you willing to abandon to win the money? And where are the stakes higher than the finale? Yeah. So the tagline is, why make friends when you can make millions? It would have been nice to see that come full circle with someone literally deciding, I am going to stab these people so hard to win.
Yeah.
And was it worth it? I don't know. It's to the viewers to decide.
Netflix, I think you guys should reach out and hire Eric to work on the show. I think that might be a good idea.
Well, I'm hoping to work my way up to that spot eventually. I'll be a PA. I'll do anything. I'll probably work for free. Don't quote me on that.
But, hey, hold on, don't do that. Don't say that.
Yeah, we'll cut that part out. We'll cut that part.
I told you I'm the worst salesman. I don't know. I got a master's in game design because I literally want to make my life all about creating games, designing games that lead to the best stories in these reality shows. So I appreciate the compliment. I probably like at least half kidding, but here's hoping.
That'd be awesome.
We're an hour in here, and I'm finally gonna ask the question that I kind of wanted to start with. But you just mentioned like you got your master's in game design, like your strategy in the game involved some lying. So I wanted to give you the chance to introduce yourself to our audience an hour in. Like, who is Eric really without the babies on the way?
Without the babies on the way. Well, thanks. And here, let me just say this. I'll let you cut around this, and I'm joking, but here's my professional answer. Hey, thanks for having me, guys. So I'm Eric. For those who don't know me, I'm 34. I live in Boston, and I lied a lot on Squid Game. I did. I own that. But I'm just a lifelong strategy game enthusiast, and huge nerd. And it's really turned from like strategy games, like trading card games and video games, board games, to reality TV shows that are also games. So the real me is, I think, every bit as just non-serious and self-deprecating, and like I don't take anything life seriously. I have a very hard time doing that, let alone Squid Game. But the big difference between me in the show and me in person is I don't like to lie in real life a lot. I value candor. I value relationships. But I also believe that when you play these games, you should try to win. And so there's that. So that's about it. I really do have a girlfriend. She's awesome. She helped me plan the whole baby lie. So she gets me.
Oh, she was in on it?
She literally helped plan it. She helped create it, the lie. We came up with it together. And she was out there asking her friend. She's been the most supportive person imaginable. I'm so lucky. So thanks, Victoria, for everything. She's also listened to me talk about Squid Game nonstop for the last few weeks, which is like something I wouldn't wish on anybody. So I really owe her a lot. And yeah, she polled her friends who were either pregnant or had been pregnant and asked them all sorts of questions. She was in it. She was my real ride or die, and I couldn't have done it without her.
So you had like pregnancy facts and stuff to like throw at people, is what you're telling me.
Oh, dude, I had a whole cheat sheet. That's
awesome.
Ask me anything. Ask me anything about pregnancy.
I don't know anything about being pregnant. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? What gender is? Do you know the gender yet? No, that would happen probably like a week or two after I got back. 10 weeks along. Oh, have you thought of baby names yet? Yeah, we did actually. We were thinking Evelyn or Genevieve if it's a girl, and Dan or Joseph if it's a guy. Dan is her grandpa's name. Have you heard of Heartbeat yet? Or have you, we've heard the heartbeat, but we haven't seen it, or actually the other way around, I think. Who's your OBGYN? I won't give the name, but we actually researched a real OBGYN in the Boston area. And we're ready to go.
That's incredible.
Parents ask a million questions. I swear to, they ask me.
No, I believe it. Yeah.
Damn near everything on the cheat sheet. I'll send you a pic if you want.
I'd love that.
It's really, really crucial to be prepared. If you're ever going to lie big in a reality TV show, you should be prepared. That's my other advice.
So you did have to defend your lie that they just didn't show it, but you did have to, put all that to use.
I'm about to tell you something really embarrassing. I defended not really defend, like no one doubted the baby lie, at least not to my face. But the parents, especially, they asked me a ton of questions. Did you know that daycare, you have to book it like while you're still pregnant? You have to book it way in advance, like a year in advance. So they were asking me about daycare. They were asking me like how Victoria was doing, like what were she was nauseous. She didn't like the smell of eggs. The smell of eggs made her nauseous. She was peeing a lot. Other than that, it wasn't too bad so far. Things like that. You have to be really prepared for.
Morning sickness.
Yeah, you have to. We had the whole timeline. The due date was August 18th. We had the date that we found out, how we found out. Did you tell your family yet? Yeah, we told our immediate family, but we're waiting until like most people after the first trimester to make an announcement. That's the common way people do it. So that was all well and good. I was fully prepared. You know what I was not prepared for?
What were you not?
Knowing what my birthday was. This is the most embarrassing part of my Squid Game experience that wasn't shown. Here's a question. Do you think if I'm going to lie about my birthday, you think I might know what day of the year it is that particular day?
Oh no.
You didn't know what day it was?
Because if you thought yes, you'd be wrong. You'd be mistaken.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, I didn't know what day it was.
So did you get called out on that?
Yes, I did. Here's what happened. I came into the game planning on a specific day to lie about my fake birthday. And then I realized in the game, I was like, wait a minute, we have game days and test days. Game days where we do a game all day, and test days are like the nesting doll, things like that, where we're just hanging out in the dorm. And I realized I need my birthday to be on a test day to really make sure that I can dodge an untimely demise if I need to. The problem was I so addled my brain and I wasn't ready. I hadn't taken the time to mentally prepare because I was outed. That the conversation about my birthday happened by accident when Matt asked me what my sign was, and Zoe was like, "Oh my God, I'm an Aquarius too. When's your birthday?" I wasn't prepared at that exact moment. So player Alex was suspicious of me, rightfully so. And he asked me what my birthday was all of a sudden after this all unfolded. And I was so caught off guard. I froze. I was the worst liar. And I was like, oh, it's the February 1st. And that was actually the day before, it turns out. So I tried to play it off like I lost track of days. But, he definitely didn't buy it. It just didn't go anywhere, luckily for me.
Yeah.
So they didn't immediately run to everybody else. He's a liar about his birthday.
They didn't. And I asked them, I was like, oh, guys, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I lost track of days. Can we just pretend it's my birthday? This is going to be so embarrassing. And I really don't want this to be part of the episode. And I think they did that.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice recovery.
Good save.
Yeah.
From the dumbest thing of all time. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I know my fake OBGYN, and I don't know what day of the year it is on my fake birthday.
When you put it that way, it's pretty insane. You're right.
Yeah.
Power of editing. They really could have buried me if they wanted to.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
That's amazing.
The other thing I really quickly wanted to ask you about the lying, and I love that you're not like a liar in real life. I gotta say, you'd be very good at it. If you decided to take it on.
Well, you say that, but did you just hear the birthday thing?
I guess that's also true.
You missed the birthday story, Sean.
I guess that's also true. But I have to ask, because watching the show, I didn't know if I could believe you or not. Do you really have 150 half siblings?
Okay, I think I've been told the number is more like 130 or so. No one's actually keeping track of this, but yeah, that's all very true. That's I wouldn't lie to a camera. I wouldn't, that's a line I won't cross. I'll do pretty much anything else, but I won't lie to you, the viewers at home.
Okay.
Yeah, no, all that was true. I mean, I was just me talking about myself, asking us a million questions in those little rooms. And I have two moms, sperm donor dad, found out when I was like 15 or 16 that I have a bunch of half siblings, and 23andMe made it really blow up. So,
yeah. Wow.
That's so crazy.
What about you? You guys have normal families or whatever?
I have 8 siblings.
Whoa!
And
really? Are you lying to me right now?
No. This is real. I have 8 siblings. I'm one of 9, and we all have the same dad, but 4 different moms. That's
okay. You were asking about auditioning for Squid Game earlier. May I offer a suggestion?
You think that's really that crazy?
Yeah, I think that's especially because you have a good sense of humor. So you can, I think, make it funny and make it also unique and probably at least a little bit compelling and heartwarming. You can probably do all that at once. I think it's really unique and interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Sean, don't you?
No, absolutely.
Sean, did you know that about me?
Yeah, I knew. I didn't. I guess I didn't know the number, but I knew. Yeah.
Maybe I'll pull a page out of Eric's book and be like, I have 15 siblings.
Yeah, we'll cover for you. We'll edit this part out. Or Or maybe we keep it in, and then like people, it'll be like an ARG. People that
Yeah, the
listen to
Netflix people aren't going to
will know the
listen to our
truth.
podcast beforehand. Okay, I'm safe. It's all right. We're good.
Like, I mean, the producers didn't even figure out that me and Melissa knew each other before the game, so I think you're all set. I think you're good.
Yeah, we'll be
That was
all
very
right.
public information.
I gotta ask you, Eric. You just reminded me of this. You told when you originally reached out to Sean, you said someone told you to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, who read
Yes.
it?
Yeah, who ratted us out?
Wait. Oh my God. Wait. These past few weeks have been such an insane blur. I've like not stopped traveling. I think I have a feeling it was like someone I actually don't know. I think it was like a random comments.
Oh,
and I'm
so
so sorry if I'm mistaken and it's a friend who said this to me, but I feel like it was some comment on Instagram or something.
wow.
We're gonna have to figure out who it was.
Yeah,
who rated
Oh
us
God,
out.
I'm sorry.
Which one of
No,
our
it's okay.
listeners?
It's okay. I just thought that was like a super.
I'm not sorry to you. I'm sorry to them.
Yeah, sorry to them. I don't need your sorry, but for them, I'm sorry that Eric let you down. Okay, whoever you are.
Yeah. Oh, big time. I'm like, oh, it's like so far back now. Okay, I tell you what, I will let you know if I ever figure this out, but don't hold your breath.
I won't.
Okay.
But thanks to you. Thanks to whoever did that because
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
'cause,
not only been
I mean-
really fun listening to you guys talk, but also being here.
Yeah, dude, this has been a blast. We really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and talk about this stuff. You go into
And-
something like this and you don't know how it's gonna go, and this has been fantastic, man.
Yeah,
Well-
and to be like completely transparent about it, like it was definitely a conversation of we got into this podcast because we really liked the drama series. We never expected that we were going to be covering,
Right.
the reality show. We didn't even know there was going to be a reality show at that point, and it was a conversation of like, is this what we want to do? Do we want to do like interviews with people, that were on the show? And I don't know that, I'm not going to say you're the only person we would have done it for, but I think you being as great as you are on the show was definitely a like, oh, we got to talk to him, like, I don't know that if
I'm
it's,
flattered. Seriously.
It would have been you or
anybody
Greg
else,
for sure.
Greg, we would have begged.
Verified
We would've-
error.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
And to be clear too, just the viewers listening, I'm the one who asked/begged to be on the podcast. Like I really don't do that often. I've asked for two things after this. One was for my alma mater, a Northeastern, to if they wanted to interview me, I was like, hey, I did this thing. And the other is asking you guys. I think to my memory, I think that's the only two things I've been like, oh man, this would be so fun. So I just I mean, not to turn this into a very boring Squid Game Season 1 Love Fest, but I just appreciate your takes. And I think you bring a totally cool new view than most reality fans. And I feel like you get these shows like as people who love stories, good stories.
Yes.
More than anything. So yeah, no, I appreciate everything you've done covering it. It's been so funny to listen.
Thank you, man. It's
Subscribe
very nice.
if you
of
haven't yet.
Subscribe.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, subscribe. Do it.
Yeah.
Eric, dude, you've been Sean, I don't think I have any other questions for the man. We've taken so much of his time, but
Yeah.
you've been a total cool dude, man. We really appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate the tips. Hopefully I get on season 3 and then I
hope so too.
I can join
my God.
the Squid Game contestant. I know you guys have like a secret posse, and all that, and you roll around together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're all very important people. It's best of luck. And like I said, DM me. My DMs are open. Let me know if I can ever help in any way. I really have nothing to offer anyone outside of talking about my Squid Game experience, but I'm just throwing it out there anyway. If you ever cover more reality shows and want me on, let me know. Say the word. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Seriously,
dude.
it's so fun. Oh my God. I love talking about my sociopathic ways on Netflix for 5 minutes. It's
I think
really
you've
fun.
convinced us that you're.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think you've convinced us that you're not a sociopath, though. I think
Yeah.
if that was your goal today, you succeeded.
Do you want
Always a
to?
plan. There's always a plan, Mike. No, I came in here to have fun. I'm glad you think that because I really play these games very differently than I live my life, but I understand if people don't believe that. But hopefully I sound relatively normal.
Do you want to? We do the whole podcasting thing. Do you want to direct anybody anywhere? Is
anything you wanna plug?
in case anybody does
man.
want to reach out for advice?
Well, here's the funny thing. I actually don't know what my TikTok handle is. I keep forgetting. It's like, I just made it for Squid Game, and I'm bumbling my way through there. But I will say, going on the lives has been really fun. So if you're interested and you want to just like follow me and catch a live randomly, because I've not promoted anything, then look up Player 415 Eric, or Eric Player 415, or Player 415 Player Eric some combination of those three things, and you'll probably find me on TikTok.
I'll find it. And I'll put it in the description for you, Eric.
Thank you. There we go.
Of
I mean,
course.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter technically too, but whatever.
And on Cameo?
And I'm on Cameo.
Go buy a Cameo from this guy.
Two for my friends. Please don't all rush at once. But I'm available for lying advice, for parental advice, for Squid Game season 3 cast. I've done 3 cameos. 2 were jokes from friends, and 1 was from someone who very clearly was on season 3 or about to be on season 3 of Squid Game looking for advice. So that's my track record there. Yeah. So I'm available for that, but I'm also giving that away for free. So just DM me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're someone who produces reality TV shows and you need someone to, consult with game design, who will work for very low money, let me know. That's it.
Hire him, everybody, right now.
Yeah, there we go.
Eric, dude, thank you so much again, man.
I'm sure I've convinced everyone that I'm a really reputable, trustworthy person to work with from my Squid Game appearance.
Hey, maybe not that, but at least you know your stuff, right? Maybe you're a liar, but you know your reality TV show. You know what I mean? You know how the games work, and you know how to play the game, right?
I got a lot of work to do, a lot of learning to do, but I'm getting there. So thanks for that. And all the best with your podcast and / applications and everything.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. This has been great, man. We'll definitely talk more soon, man. I think you're a really cool dude.
Hope so.
We this has been a great experience for us, man, for sure.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Same here. It was a lot of fun.